now you've got Abigail Spanberger, who is the front runner for governor in Virginia, refusing to pull her endorsement from Jay Jones, who's running for attorney general in Virginia, after he, justified political assassinations. And this video right here by that the Post Millennial posted earlier today is shocking to say the least.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. We just want to clarify, what you're saying is that as of now, you still endorse Jay Jones as Attorney General.
I'm saying as of now, it's up to every voter to make their own individual decision. I am running for governor. I am accountable for the words that I say, for the acts that I take, for the policies that I have put out.
Thank you.
I am responsible for the policies I put out and the work I will endeavor to do tirelessly for the people of Virginia.
Thank you.
She could not condemn this candidate for, justifying political assassinations and actually saying that they're a good thing sometimes, because people need that personal impact. That's where we are, man.
Yeah, her being CIA too spooks the stuff out of me, no pun intended. But, I hate to kind of go back to the point because I know you said we're deviating on it. But, Ian, when you have people like Abigail Spanberger not giving a shit that Jay Jones brutally described how he wants his political opponent's kids to die, I don't really think it matters what we do to Antifa, dude. I mean, it's literally an info war. It is up to us to kind of explain that, hey, it's okay to take them and throw them in the jail and, kind of rough them up a little bit because, dude, the other side literally just fantasize about killing our children. You know what I'm saying, dude? So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I think everybody has their opinion on Antifa at this point. If you're still a normie on the Antifa issue, then I don't know, just get left behind, bro. I think everybody else kind of has their opinion, and it's either us or them, dude.
Well, it can always get worse. No matter how bad it is,
it might have to get worse. It might have to.
But it doesn't have to get worse. It can get worse, and even as bad as it seems, saying well, forget it, doesn't even matter anyway, could make it much, much worse. So you do have to care about what your government does.
Well,
we'll get some context here too, just for the people that don't understand what these text messages actually are. Man. I mean, you're reading these things, and this is clearly somebody that was on his side at one point that this Jay Jones guy was venting to, talking about going to the funerals and pissing on the graves of his political opponents, and it's disturbing. It's disturbing. I mean, talking about children here as well. And at what point? I mean, is your average run-of-the-mill voter let's ask Ian here. Ian, are regular people looking at this and are they disgusted by it?
Yes.
I mean, is this not going to severely hurt Democrats across the country?
It's going to hurt this guy's chance at getting into office. Regular people look at the Charlie Kirk assassination and are disgusted and are terrified. And the same thing with this stuff.
I think it hurt his chances too because, McAuliffe lost McAuliffe lost the governor race because he just said that, parents shouldn't really have a say in kids' education. And I think that's way more extreme than that. And I know we're a little bit more, the left's a little bit more far gone now than they were 4 years ago. But I mean, if Virginia governor can lose just for saying a comment about kids' education, I think this guy's not going to win the election. I think Miyares is going to win. And, I hope he does because Virginia is our favorite state to catch pedos in. And I don't want this. I don't want this limperous download to change that for us.
Alex, I hope you're right.
Me too.
But the polls don't show that. There has not been a significant dip after these texts have come out. There is still the same support. I forget the Abigail Spanberger. She refused to disavow a lot of national Democrats have refused to disavow. There have been a handful that have said, this is terrible and blah, blah, blah. But there's still so many that have not. And you look at the response to the response to Charlie Kirk's murder, that is how the average Democrat kind of feels.
No. That's what I say. Those leftists, not average Democrat, dude. Average Democrats, Phil. That guy is the average Democrat. That's the problem.
This psycho?
No, he's more left masquerading as an
Sorry to interrupt.
Well, I'm saying, but that's how a lot of these guys are. And it's if you could take a look at their text messages following, you're going to see some really, really grim stuff. And I agree. I'm not talking about your median sensible liberal, but the problem is they're not in control of the Democrat Party anymore. It's driven by the activists. And it's unfortunately, the base, there's a lot of those text messages. This is the one that just got leaked. There's all kinds of conversations that look like that happening.
You can look at how there was more that happened in this debate than just that on this topic. This super uncomfortable moment that happened where this moment of silence did happen where Abigail just looked frazzled because it's like her leftist advisors are telling her not to condemn it. Don't condemn it. And she wants to seemingly, but can't. I mean, any rational human would want to condemn it. And it's worth watching this just for context here.
Would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Ms. Earl Sears.
I mean, we're talking about murder. We're talking about someone's life being taken from them.
You can just...
She's so
Have
smug,
you nothing
dude.
to say
It's
about
pissing me off.
Yeah.
Are you not going to address it? Really, you can't go any further. You're a governor. You're supposed to stand up for all the people. Are you saying political murder is all right? Have some political courage. What you have done is you are taking political calculations about your future as governor. Well, as governor, you have to make hard choices, and that means telling Jay Jones to leave the race.
I mean, this needs to just play on loop for, the next several weeks. People are looking at that, and it makes... I've watched this 4 or 5 times now, and it makes me uncomfortable to watch it, knowing that they can't... I mean, this is a pretty simple thing to condemn.
Yeah.
I mean, Winsome Sears is a bad woman. Like, she is great. She is great at her job. She is no nonsense. She's aggressive, like you see in those. So I think that kind of speaks to the way that, like, her temperament and the way that she takes on her opponents. But yeah, I mean, how hard is it to say, yes, I disavow this and he should step down? Because that's what should happen. Think about it like this. Every conservative, every Republican that lives in Virginia is likely to be treated unfairly by that guy if he's the AG.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't that no Republican or conservative could trust that him as an AG actually will not treat them as if they're a second-class citizen.
Look at this smirk. That's the one you were talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, golly.
She gives me PTSD.
And like you said, she is a former CIA agent. Pretty open about that. Yeah. I mean, you can definitely tell. It makes a lot of sense.
To be honest, she has that like biting HR lady smirk. This phenotype of woman has terrorized me my entire life. She was your teachers, was your like college advisor. She was your HR lady. It's just like this lady right here. She's just been at every turn, just cucking me.
She seems to be doing what you would do in court if she was under duress. She would just plead the fifth and say nothing. But now she's on TV. Everyone gets to watch her uncomfortable distancing from the question. Obviously, she's got mixed feelings about what she should do versus what she's going to do. That's the most insane part of it. When she says, what if it was your own kids that he's threatening to shoot? And then you can see her just change. And she's like, realizes how horrible it is. And then she's like, I was told not to respond. If I say anything, the Republicans will win the election. Donald Trump is bad. I can't.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit last night, actually. The AOC wing of the party seems to be in total control over a lot of these people at this point because she's moved them so far left. She's a fundraising machine, pulls in a hell of a lot of money, and that's one of the reasons that I'd argue that the government is actually shut down right now because, she would if she ran against Chuck Schumer, she'd probably win. I'm just saying, in New York. Yeah,
absolutely. And like you said, the reason that Chuck Schumer is not allowing or is preventing Democrats or telling Democrats not to vote to restart the government is because he wants to look like he is a leader and he's strong because AOC is thinking about primarying him. And if she primaries him, she's probably going to win. And if you primary the minority leader in the Senate and you win, like, that is a massive boost. She'll probably be looked at as the leader, whether or not she actually becomes the minority leader or the leader of the Democrats. If you primary the leader of the Democrats and you win, people are going to be like, all right, well, it looks like she's in charge now. And if she's in charge now, that means that the far left is going to have way more influence. I was talking to a friend of mine that used to be a staffer for Shaheen. And she says that up on the Hill right now, everybody sees this. The Democrats are using AOC as a means to reach the far left because they think that AOC has the far left's ear. And there are people that think will criticize AOC on the far left and say that she works with the establishment too much. But the establishment looks at her and sees someone that can court the far left. And if they're looking at her like that, they will support her. and she will be in a leadership position.
Oh, beyond that, I mean, even like Zoran, you've seen the establishment get behind, where it's moved from. I agree with your analysis, but I think it's moved beyond like, oh, this is just like a siphon to like siphon off that, leftist activist energy. I think they're kind of realizing they just have to play ball. Like if they want to win elections, they have to play ball.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, I think it's beyond that. I think it's just like, this is probably the most safe representative of the far left. Because yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, even Zoran, they all were like, oh, I endorse Zoran, he's great. Yeah.
Well, not only that, Hochul endorsed Zoran, hoping that Zoran would give her an endorsement too.
It didn't happen.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
He's just like, and the reason that's just a swing your dick play, right? Like he didn't have to endorse her. Hochul, the governor, endorses Zoran, hoping for something for reciprocity, and then he's just like, I don't need Hochul. That is a big dick move.
And it screwed her over because now Stefanik is looking great in the polls. Like we could end up with a situation where we have a Republican governor of New York and Zoran as mayor. It would be absolutely hilarious. And yeah, part of that was Stefanik is just XP farming on Hochul because like upstate New Yorkers view her as in cahoots with Zoran, even though Zoran's not playing ball with her. It's like a total disaster for Hochul.
The Iranians and before the revolution in '79, the king of Iran, the Shah, he decided he was going to play ball with the radicals of his society, which were the radical Islamists, and he thought, if I can get their support, then that will guarantee that there won't be a civil war. But all he did was empower the radical. I was going to call them psychopaths. I'll be gentle about my ad hominem attacks. He empowered the radical Shia populace to call it the far left or whatever. And then there was a revolution, and they had more power because he'd been supporting them. So don't support the radicals that you don't agree with. Pretty blatant.
That's not going to happen right now. My friend, she tweeted, the octogenarians leading congressional Dems, Pelosi, Clyburn, etc., see her as a moderating voice between them and the radical left who think AOC isn't leftist enough. They see her as a way to reach this segment, especially younger voters, who will temper with age. The point is they see the young people, and as they grow up, they will become normal Democrats is kind of the play. I mean, This is Clyburn's like the kingmaker, right? Like in the Democrat Party, people may not realize it, but Jim Clyburn is really a kingmaker. People that are going to run for leadership or whatever, they need to go and get Clyburn's blessing, right? If Clyburn and Pelosi are looking at AOC and saying, hey, this is the person that can reach young people, and Libby was saying last night or the other night, she's incredibly relatable. She gets onto her IG and she puts together IKEA furniture. She cooks and she gets, thousands and thousands of people watching her. She's incredibly relatable and she's incredibly charismatic. She is a force to be reckoned with, and it's a serious thing. Like, people really need to think about the fact that not only is AOC incredibly well positioned to actually become a senator, but also that's where the energy in the Democrat Party is. Like, I've been saying that there's a civil war in the Democrat Party since November of last year when Trump won. It was probably a little bit before that, but I've been saying that there's a big problem in the Democrat Party. The people that have money, the donors, they don't want to give money to Zohran Mamdani. They don't want to give money to AOC because their policies will end up hurting the rich people, right? The rich people have been Democrats. They've been given to Pelosi and to your Schumers and blah, 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 and they've been reliably normal Democrats. But the young people don't need those big donors because they get small donations from a lot more people. And it looks like that AOC and the far left are actually winning. They're going to take over control of the party.
Last question about the Senate, since we're on the topic. What do you guys think about Thomas Massey taking Mitch McConnell's
Thomas Massey's
seat?
In the House.
What if he can run against take Mitch McConnell's seat for the Senate now?
I don't think, is there really any talk of that happening at this point?
Someone started begging for it, and I thought maybe we could put some momentum behind it.
I think it's much more likely that he'd run for governor of Kentucky before he'd run for U.S. Senate.
The thing about the Senate and AOC, we have to have her in here and interview this girl, this human, because you need wisdom to be in the Senate. That's the whole point, is people that can see beyond the box. They know what's outside. They understand the danger of new laws. That's why they have the veto power that they have. So I'd like to see somebody like T-Bone, Thomas Massey.
Senate races require a lot more fundraising than House races.
Yep.
House races are every 2 years. There's people that have squeaked in with not very large war chests at all. Senate's a big ticket
Yeah, especially because like Thomas Massey doesn't get any AIPAC dollars, and he's pissed off like all the special interest groups and such. So it'd be a lot more difficult for him to raise the necessary capital.
He would be like completely reliant on individual donors, which I mean, there's a pathway potentially, but so far in the Senate we haven't really seen it.
It's Massey's safe in his seat too. Like he's extremely popular with his constituents. So I mean,
they still haven't found somebody to like a serious primary opponent for him. They keep saying they're going to try,
and Donald Trump wants to. Like Donald Trump, like the president of the United States, the big bully pulpit wants to primary Massey, but they can't find anybody that'll actually get any momentum against Massey because he makes his constituents happy. It's similar to what was going on with Ron Paul. Like nobody could ever get Ron Paul out of his seat because Ron Paul made his constituents happy. He did what they wanted him to do, and Thomas Massey does the same thing. So it doesn't matter that Donald Trump, tweets mean things at him. Thomas Massey is very safe, and so if you're in a safe seat, what's the benefit for trying to go to the Senate?
More
I understand
power.
that. Well, I mean, is it really?
Yeah, the senators have more power than the representatives.
Would he have more power? You think?
Technically,
I mean,
he'd be pretty influential in there, talking to the other senators when they all get together.
He's already one of the guys in the House that will stymie bills if he doesn't want to. I mean.
Yeah, the issue was trying to so I know this district very well, actually, Thomas Massey's district. I lived in Kentucky for most of my life, and I was around a lot of Kentucky politicians, during COVID especially. That's how I started, was trying to fight all the COVID mandates from the draconian governor down there, Andy Beshear. And there are a lot of good politicians in or political minds in Thomas Massey's district, but they all align with Thomas Massey. Yeah. So it's really hard to find a good, viable candidate to go up against him. It seriously is. So I mean, he's in a good spot. They've tried to primary him in the past. Even last cycle, I believe President Trump said he was going to primary Thomas Massey, and that didn't work out either. So I don't know.
He had at least 78% of the voters.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Huge number.
It actually was higher than it was the time before.
Well, thanks for talking about Thomas Massey joining the Senate.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.